You guys can read the title, I'm sure, so let's just get through this. So you remember my little rendezvous with the word anthropomorphic? Are you kidding me? It's the same mistake every time! Sorry, getting sidetracked. Anyways, soft-boiled Eggventure, episode 2. So, where did we leave off? Oh yeah, our little egg was making an extremely unwise decision to broaden his horizons, go outside and get a bit of sunshine. Extremely unwise, I would say. Shame on him. Anyways, our little waste of space, of course, our valued and treasured egg colleague, as it were, was about to get his first little dose of reality. He wanted to step outside and smell the fresh air and the grass. Well, now he sees what comes with it. Death and misery. But on top of that, I have to wonder, just a tiny little question. Who in their right mind would think it would be a good idea to put the words "eggs live here" on the side of the wall? I mean, if it was someone who hated the eggs, then fine, sure, why not? I mean, that's kind of mean, but I mean, at least the motive makes sense. But, I mean, let's say it was one of these eggs. Why? Why would you do this? It seems like this little tribe of hard-boileds and one little soft-boiled egg, they wanted to, keep it together. Keep it a close family unit away from these hungry wolves that are now standing outside their door. They probably only found the lair because of the sign. So, yeah. You know what? Maybe I actually have the footage somewhere and I just kind of forgot I had it. Let me just kind of shuffle around, see if I can't find it. Oh, yeah, okay, here it is. Let's take a look at this wonderful screenshot. Oh my god, really? Really? My oh my, what a shocker. Who on earth could have predicted this? Now, you, like me, are probably getting tired of just insulting this egg over and over and over. He doesn't deserve it, you cry. He's just an innocent little boy. Well, first of all, he's 37, so there you go. And second of all, someone needs to keep him in check, for his own good. Someone needs to call him out. He's way too naive, especially for 37. Okay? He wanted to go outside into an apocalypse where wolves roam free and want to eat you. This is not a sign of someone who knows what they're doing, who has it together. Well, anyways, let's get to the actual adventure part. The wolves are getting hungry. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Look, we really should just stick with berating the egg. Yeah, it might be a little cruel and a little cringy at times when it gets into excessive insults, but I mean, it's a little more entertaining than this main story that we've got going on, which is a little sad, really, but whatever. There's really not much to say. I mean, wolves versus eggs, how do you think that'll turn out? Will it be an epic showdown? A great stand, a fight to the finish? No. The wolves won. Piece of cake. All the eggs ran off and hid with screams of terror, and the wolves laughed and at their pain and took whatever they wanted, sadistic little pieces of crap. And well, that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, except our egg managed to escape. Not entirely sure how he did that. One wolf specifically chased after him. I'm not entirely sure how he managed to hide from that wolf. But he did. He managed to get away. So, good on him. Let's follow him then. Maybe he'll do something interesting. Now, I know you're just dying to know several questions. What is the meaning of life? What is your favorite color, mysterious narrator? really important stuff like that. Probably also, less important stuff like why is there an apocalypse in this episode and in the previous episode? How on earth are there anthropomorphic eggs just walking around and talking and generally just acting as if they shouldn't be lying around doing nothing? You know what I mean? Um, less important questions like that. But they're still good questions, so I guess we can get to those first. Let's see. Okay, so the eggs. First off, they're not eggs. Yeah, I'm sorry for false advertising. You are capable of sending me directly to jail with that move. You can just press a button that says false advertising, and I will be immediately teleported to a jail cell. You can do it. Go ahead. Give it a whirl. I deserve it. But before you do, um, why are they aliens, you might ask? Well, or how did they get here, all that crap. Okay, well, it's pretty simple. A couple thousand years ago, there was an alien spacefaring species in a different star system, and and um and they were sent out into space. Yeah, that's basically it. Their species was on the verge of annihilation from, interplanetary war because they, like every other species in the universe, are a bunch of idiots who want to bomb themselves back to the Stone Age. Well, anyways, so they sent their strongest, best spacefarers, astronauts, and scientists and whatnot to float adrift through space in the murky beyond, as it were. And they eventually landed here, except they landed in a different apocalypse. Yeah. Well, actually, the same apocalypse. The apocalypse you see now has been going on for like a couple thousand years. Um, the aliens were originally a little shorter, had little stubbier legs, but thousands of years of evolution. They got a little taller. The ones with stubbier legs, they occasionally fell over and whatnot, and we couldn't have that for survival, so ones with longer legs reproduced more often, and now the entire species has longer legs. So there you go. That's our little background on the eggs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Oh wait, we also need to talk about the apocalypse, right? Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, um, it's a little difficult to figure out exactly what happened. I don't entirely know all the details myself, but I do know this much. This is not the first apocalypse. Yeah, yeah, this is not your typical apocalypse sort of scenario, that you see in plays and movies and whatnot, where there was one dominant species on Earth and they blew themselves into extinction because they're a bunch of idiots. Um, no, this is not the first apocalypse because more than one species can become the dominant species on a planet, and more than one species can rise from an apocalypse and become the dominant species. And of course, that same dominant species, a couple thousand years later, can become a bunch of idiots who bomb themselves into extinction. And the cycle continues. In this case, I have absolutely no idea how many times it's happened. I really don't. What I do know is that at the time that our egg is currently running away from wolves, the date is currently something like 2,353 AD. Well, no, not AD. Of course not. That is an extremely outdated measure of time. We really just like to say 2,353. Was it? Yeah. Yeah, no one really keeps track of time anymore. It is kind of an apocalypse, But it's something around 2 million. You know, 2 million what, you ask? I don't know, okay? I don't know. If you want to know about the humans, then yes, there were once humans. And it's been at least 2 million years since the humans bombed themselves into extinction. But that was not the only apocalypse. Let's just get that right out of the way. Point is, it's not the only apocalypse, and there's been a couple. Humans haven't been here for a while. A whole bunch of dominant species have come and gone. And now it's eggs. So now that you're all kind of sort of caught up, let's get back to our eggs, scrounging around for materials in the rubble, because that'll help. Now look, I just hear me out for a minute. When it comes to this egg, I know I'm cruel on him and hard on him and generally just an unpleasant fellow when it comes to this egg. I'm aware of that, but I'm gonna put that aside for just a minute and actually sympathize. Sympath. Holy crap! Again, it was anthropomorphic, and now it's sympathize. Same problem, different words. Okay, moving on. Where were we? Oh yeah, the egg. I kind of sympathize with his situation. Not to say that I've been in it or I know what it's like or anything, but I mean I sympathize. If that means anything, probably doesn't, but whatever. He well how best to put this? Food kind of just doesn't lie around when it comes to a built metropolis. Now you ask yourself, what do these egg-like aliens eat for food? You know. Well, the thing is, it's kind of ironic. Well, maybe not ironic, but just kind of humorous. They kind of have to eat protein. Plenty of protein. Yeah. They have to. They do this because well, they resemble eggs, and eggs have a lot of protein. And their energy, the energy that they use, comes from protein mostly. And that wears out pretty gosh darn quick, so they need more, a lot. How do they find this, you ask? Do they search valiantly for protein stores already established? Do they get themselves a good protein powder and mix it into some milk, and then they just have themselves a fine, handy dandy milkshake? Oh, if only. If only. Yeah, it's a little horrific, but you have to do what you have to do to survive, right? Same case for the wolves, right? Which is kind of why I sympathize with this character. He's naive. Like I've said before, he's never been outside. He's always wanted to, obviously. Everyone who's never been outside wants to be outside. It's fantastic logic, right? Really, it's kind of like everyone who hasn't killed themselves really wants to kill themselves. It's just that doesn't work, so how come the previous one works? Why does he want to go outside if he's never been outside? It's just okay, well that was. Anyways, back to business. So if the visuals didn't make it obnoxiously clear, these eggs hunt and kill smaller animals than themselves. Yeah, and then they eat them for their protein. These egg-like aliens, like the good Samaritans they are. But well, let's just say that our little egg. You know what? I'm getting tired of calling him our little egg. Let's call him E. How about that? It's highly creative. I know. You should praise me forever and ever. Do it right now, or I'll know if you haven't. Anyways, about a week goes by while E does this. Our little E, our magnificent little E. And well, he manages to survive, so that much is good. But then he decides to go back and find his family. You see, while he was running from the wolf originally about a week ago, he kind of got lost. Yeah, it's not as ridiculous as it sounds. A metropolis can be twisty and confusing. It ain't that ridiculous, so don't laugh at him. Don't do it, or you will face punishments. Anyways, he tried to find his way back, and he eventually did, and well, um, well, on the one hand, I really don't want to show you what happened. I really don't. I would rather not know myself. But on the other hand, you do need to know a little bit. Let's just let's just say that the wolves tried to eat them and their hard shells kind of prevented it, so